Hello there, flight swimmers. Let me introduce myself. My name is Paul. I'm a developer, producer, skydiver, musician, and a few other hats based in Tokyo. As you can see, I'm a little plane crazy, which segues into the topic of this video. So, welcome to my video explainer about my new Microsoft Flight Simulator utility called Aircraft Manager. Aircraft Manager is a UI utility to help manage information overload from your growing aircraft collection. Let's dive in. We're all familiar with the current interface to managing and selecting aircraft, and it's pretty cool. It's nice and workable. It's got a great search, it's got great filtering, and you can select planes, and it's got some basic information here. But it doesn't allow for much custom functionality. For example, if you've got too many planes and you're overwhelmed deciding what to fly, scrolling down all of these lists, all these different types, everything from airliners to twins to singles to STOLs to gliders. It'd be nice to be able to tag aircraft according to your own category, STOL, VFR or racing, or however you like, however you organize your collection. And it'd be nice to be able to keep some notes on aircraft that you fly regularly. So my solution is Aircraft Manager, which helps you to do all that and more. So we've replaced the pretty cool card interface with a data grid interface, which allows us to compare information faster. First off, we've retained the existing functionalities, so we can search here. Say we want to search on the Aeromarque 339. We type whatever we want into the box there, it'll filter down to that, and it's the same up here in the base game aircraft selection. So that still works the same. We clear that, we clear back out. If we want to use the existing categories, they'll still work just fine, there's no issue there. So we're utilizing what we have, and selecting aircraft here selects them back up there, and they'll be selected back here. So we've retained the existing functionality for starters, but now I'll run through the benefits and features of what's been added through Aircraft Manager that allows you to a little bit more flexibility. So the first thing is we can now sort. We have here the same as we have on here. We have the manufacturer and the aircraft name, but now we can sort ascending or descending, and default is ascending, I think. We can sort by those categories, which we couldn't do here. We can only filter them. We can now sort by speed in ascending order or descending, altitude, endurance, and range. We'll talk more about tags and notes later coming up. In addition to that, we've also got multi-sort capability. If you hold down Shift when you select one of these, so we're now sorting in aircraft category. You can see this sort of airliner, glider, jet, whatever. So you will now sort within speed within that. So now we have the airliners, but the airliners now sorted in ascending order of speed, or we can go keep holding down Shift. We're now sorting in descending order, and we can also do a third level. If we want to hold down Shift, keep holding down Shift and click again, we're now sorting on altitude within speed within this category here. You want to remove that, just let the Shift key up and click on it, and we'll be back to normal. One of the other issues here is that some aircraft are miscategorized. If we look at the others, third-party people have categorized some of their planes as so for example, this is a glider and it's been categorized as an other. This is a jet. This is a jet. So we want to recategorize them. We can use our tag system for that later. We'll have a look at that. So that's sorting, single sort, multi-sort across all these columns. Next one is filtering. Similar to the search here, we can use the in-game search to do single search. We can't do multi-category search here. We can only do search on a single string. We can't search on 339 and pits special, for example. But we can do that here by clicking on this icon. We can say it contains 339 or contains pits, for example. We apply that and we're now pulling up two different categories, the pits and the 339. You can do that with whatever you want. You've got other criteria. We can do an AND as well. Obviously there isn't going to be a 339 and a pits, but there are some certain category. If we just want to reset that, you go back to normal, and that applies to all these. We could so you want to look at glider and contains other, or contains other. So now we're looking at the glider, and we can then sort them. So we're sorted by gliders and then the others, which we can't do using the inbuilt system here. And that allows us, then we might go through here and tag all these gliders, for example. We'll look at the tags later, but we can tag them all and then pull them up separately. To reset that, just click on the filtering icon and reset, and we can do the same speed, for example. So we want to select speeds. Let's look at speeds in a range between 400 and 500 knots. So we want to do a particular training exercise with a jet that's in that range, and then this will pull up all the, because there's usually, oh, there's some propeller ones as well, whatever aircraft type jet, turbo, prop or microjet, and then we can sort them by speed within that, and then maybe want to compare some. Same again for altitude, endurance, range, whatever. Okay, so that's sorting and that's filtering. Next up we have, as you can see here, we have auto auto number conversion, which I've added in here. Depending on what your sim settings are here in the miscellaneous category, you can set your sim to US system, metric or hybrid. I'm set at hybrid at the moment, which does speed in kilometers per hour, altitude is in feet, and range is in kilometers. What we have here is we'll auto convert it to the imperial or metric, opposite of what that is here. We could potentially also add miles in here instead of nautical miles, but at the moment we're converting over, and that's handy if you want to. I work in both systems, being from Australia. Even though we've been metric for decades, I grew up with imperial, so I'm kind of in between what the US imperial system is and the European metric system. But in some jurisdictions it is hybrid, so it's interesting to be able to quickly get a feel for what the other number is going to be. This is also in the free version. So the free version, light version, includes the integration of the search and whatever, and it also includes these auto conversions as well, and the sorting. The next features we're going to talk about are the paid version features. So first up for them is we have the custom filtering we talked about. That's in the paid version. We have favoriting, and which is a little bit different from tagging. It's kind of like a niche focused version of tagging, but for example, you might want to when you go into the sim, you might not want to look at all these planes. You just want to look at your favorites. So for example, you can see here, to tag an aircraft as a favorite is very simple. We have this FAV favorite column on the right, on the left here. All you have to do is click on that column, turn it to an F, click it again to uncheck it. But okay, so we want to do that, and we want to, if we quickly want to filter out everything that's not a favorite, we can click on any of these aircraft name buttons of any column. It doesn't matter, it's just a global quick button, and it'll quickly filter out everything else and only show us our favorites. So it's like a power version of the tagging system, which we'll talk about in a sec. And then if you want to get back to the full thing, you just click back on that. So it's like a toggle switch. So you can quickly go through and oh, I like the PC12. Hopefully they'll upgrade that very soon, and then bang, you've got all your favorites. And when you go back out to another, do some more stuff for whenever you're in the session for wherever you are. When you come back in, it will be still in that mode, but it's only a simple click to switch between the two modes, and it will still work for whatever setting you have here as well. And you can combine that with the other filters as well. So that's favoriting, which should be quite handy. Next up is let's talk about tagging. Tagging is you have 30 characters. You have this field here, which has sorting on it as well, and also has filtering. But what it is, you basically have 30 characters to put in whatever tags you have here. That's enough to do maybe half a dozen small tags. And you can classify aircraft through whatever categories that you tend to use them in. For example, I've got one here, the L39. I've just kept one from the Reno race series, and I classify that as a racer and a trainer. So to add to it, I might also call that, let's say for example, we also want to add VFR to that. To save them, the enter key doesn't work on this at the moment due to some UI integration issues, but it's quite easy to save. You just click back out of the column onto any other column and it will save. So click on the tags column in the aircraft you want to change, add the tag, and then just click out and it auto saves. And we can do that for others. Stall as well. I have a skydive. I've tagged a bunch of skydive, and then we can filter them. Say I want to pull up all my skydive aircraft and run through them comparatively to see how they compare in performance. And then I can just pick which ones I want. Oh, I haven't favorited these. I should favor these. I do like most definitely. I'll take the both those. Thanks. And then to reset, you just pull them back up, and then again. Now I've got those added to my favorites. And you can use whatever categories you want here, up to you. Along with that, looking at the next one is notes. Notes is similar, except we have 1,000 characters here. The first time it loads in, every time you load in a session, if there are no notes exist already that you haven't added, these are persistent too. Between the favorites and the tags and the notes are persistent between sessions. They're stored within the sim. The first time you go in, it'll load up the description, which is the one you see normally on the hanger. It'll pull it up, and that's quite handy. You can just click on that, just same as you do for the tags, and you can just scroll through and read what's there. Say you want to delete all that and write your own, just Control A. Hit your delete key to select, and then put in my info or notes, whatever you want. Click out to the side and it's saved. And when we go back out, you'll see when we come back in, bingo, our notes. And so you want to go back to the description. You don't have anything useful to say anymore. You can just Control Alt Delete, leave it empty. And then when you load it back in next time, it'll pull up the base description that comes with the aircraft. So that's quite flexible. Like I say, 1,000 characters, more than enough. It flows off the screen here because if you word wrap here, all these will be different sizes and it'll be quite difficult to see. The other thing for fast scrolling, there isn't a scroll bar on here, but this is click scrollable. So for example, if you just between the end of the row here and the edge of the window, there's a very small space, just big enough for your mouse, your cursor. You can see it's highlighted there. If you just put the mouse pointer there, and you can do a single click, and that's kind of like a page scroll down. You only have to click. Otherwise, like I'm using my mouse wheel. You can scroll up or down. But if you want to do it fast, the fast way is just to go over to the far right and put your mouse pointer on that section, and ditto for here. And just use a single click. And that's kind of relative to wherever you are positioned. It'll do it by a small amount if you do it up here. So that's basically it. It's kind of early access at the moment. intend to improve this over time. It's a lean and mean functional machine at the moment to help you manage your aircraft collection in a better manner. We'll add some more designery stuff later on, but at the moment it's designed to be more function over form, so you can just organize things how you want it and get to flying, which is why we play the sim. But it's also good to learn about the aircraft and manage a little bit better. So we have a little bit of info here. Scrolling down, we have the feature matrix between the free light demo and the pro version, which will be available very soon. I always recommend you try the demo first to make sure it fits your screen resolution. Installation instructions, it's a standard package. This will be filled in soon with the pro version link. Release notes, I've already done one update to the free version. I changed over to dark mode, which fits MSFS user interface a bit better. Known issues you can read about here, as I just mentioned one, but there's a couple of others. Refund policy is fairly standard, that's why I say do use the demo first. Please check. And support, which is critical, can always be contacted through here. Is the primary support channel with some tips, so please read and submit your message with the details here. So thanks for listening, and please try it out, and if you want to upgrade, please upgrade, but enjoy the free version otherwise. It will still add some value, and I keep flying on. Hasta la pasta.